Hello, puppet.
God.
Hello.
Hello, puppet.
Hello, puppet.
Except
Hello,
they're not
love.
even British, he's Irish. I can't even
I was
try
just
to
gonna
do an
say,
Irish
I
accent.
cannot do Irish accent. I'm not going to disrespect my heritage like that. Or anybody else's for that
Yeah.
matter. So,
It's like I'm Irish and Scottish. That's like most of my blend.
I'm Irish, German, and Danish.
Yeah, I'm definitely a mutt, but we'd have more Irish, Scottish, and Persian
Watch
or
yourself
Prussian.
on that.
Prussian. I don't know. Prussian's in there. That's a
I'm
big one.
still stuck on your like, I'm a mutt.
I am like, who's not at this
I was
point?
like, aren't we all at
We're
this
all
point?
mutts.
Like, come on, you
It's just like
know?
depending on how much is in, but yeah, definitely Irish, Scottish, and Prussian,
Nice.
like for like Middle East or whatever. I was like,
Fun.
okay, all right,
All
cool.
right.
Who was that?
I I would do like 23andMe or DNA ancestry, but I want them tracking down no serial killers in my family one day.
I know.
So,
Oh, we
no, you
had.
can't have my DNA.
I think my mom said in Ireland there is a. We had like a news clipping of uh one of it was the Scullion side,
Okay.
and there's this little house or whatever, and there was a murder. Like one of my halfway past cousins or something like that, like killed somebody else because of like a whole cheating thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like in like their newspaper or something like that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So
All
rage
right.
just runs in the
Runs
family
in the
from way
family.
back when.
Noted.
That's where it's coming from. I don't know. I just know that someone in my family way back then over in Ireland decided to be like, man, this guy's got to go.
Bye. Bye.
I want to say it was for cheating or if it was like a paid thing. I have to talk to my mom again.
Anyways, that lines up with what we're going to talk about today.
Exactly.
Yeah, murder and such.
Murder, sex,
I
all
have a
that.
cover. I have a cover.
Hey.
Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. Okay, when I read this book for the
Oh
first
God.
time, I was like, holy shit, you
Yes.
put my two favorite things together,
Yes.
serial killers and smut. I was
Yeah,
like,
and it's funny.
dude, the monologues,
So
hysterical.
good.
Like, because when this came out, like nothing really, like I had never really read like a
No.
witty,
Hmm.
like romance that was so funny with like so much banter
Yeah.
and had a lot of like murder in it. Like she literally put my two favorite things together. Like, did
Yeah.
we just become best friends?
That's fine. Right?
Did we?
I was
Did
like
we?
getting it and then reading the trigger warnings had me cracking up. I'm like, yes, I need
I
to read
was
this
gonna
right now.
I was gonna read them. Yeah, because that was one of the like obviously I was like, oh, okay, well, and it's the Reunions Love trilogy. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm
We're gonna
gonna
get
get more
more.
than one, right? So like I shall read some of the trigger warnings. But she just says, as much as Butcher and Blackbird is a dark romantic comedy and will hopefully make you laugh through the madness, it's still dark.
Yep.
Please read responsibly, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me at brynweaverbooks.com or on social media, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Eyeballs and eye sockets, amateur surgery, skin ornaments, chainsaw axes, knives, scalpels, just a lot of sharp objects, accidental cannibalism. I was like, accidental?
Accidental.
And then right below it says not so accidental. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. Questionable use of a mummified corpse,
Mhm.
lobotomized manservant,
Yep.
ill-advised use of kitchen implements. I'm really sorry about the cookies and cream ice cream. I'm not really.
No, she wasn't at all.
It was not. Detailed sex scenes, which include, but are not limited to, cock warming, rough sex, praise kink, anal, adult toys, choking, spitting, dom sub interactions, genital piercings, references to parental neglect and child abuse, parental loss, not depicted. References to child sexual assault, not in detail.
Yep.
Thank you, Brynne. And it is a book about serial killers. So generally, there's some messed up murder and chaos. And
You
then,
know.
like, their little like clip at the beginning.
Yes.
It says, for those of you who read the trigger warning and said accidental cannibalism, count me in. This one's for you. I was like,
It
oh,
sure was.
you wrote this for me, girl. And like,
It was great.
did she? Like, and it starts like pretty heavily. Like,
I like yeah,
so
because she's in.
yeah, like, okay, so I guess we should start with like you have Sloane, who
Yep.
is the female,
Hmm.
but she's like also known as like the orb
Or the orb
weaver,
weaver.
and she is a serial killer that kills other serial killers. So she's
Yep.
like Dexter, but with like artsy finesse, because
Yes.
she,
She loves to pluck out those eyeballs and then like weave.
hence the orb, yeah, but she like weaves shit and like that's where like skin ornaments and stuff comes
Yeah.
from. Like,
I love
girl is crazy, but like it starts in like she's locked in a cage by like another like like serial
my
killer's
one little
corpse.
mistake. And she was just like, God damn it.
It was like one fucking
One
thing.
little mistake.
Yeah, so she's trapped there until like this dude, Rowan, who is also a serial killer, aka the Boston Butcher, hence
Yep.
the
Right,
hatchet, you
right.
know.
But I love it because like those two, they only kill other serial killers.
Yes, so
So I'm like,
like
at least there's a line.
yeah, he only kills like other serial killers as well. And so like, but he ends up like finding the keys and like lets her out and like invites her to lunch and like they realize that they know each other by like their
Yeah.
nicknames and they're kind of like, oh, and like
Oh, but
they
Sloane is
feel
really keeping to herself though. Like Rowan's like, I'm a fan. I love what you're doing. And she's
yeah,
over here
she's
like,
like
okay, all
yeah,
right.
like she's not really ready to like spill her tea at all. You
Not
know
at
what I
all.
mean? Like she's just like, I just met you just because you saved me doesn't mean I'm gonna tell you everything I've been doing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they get like have this like feeling,
They
you
start like
know, but
going
like
back. Like, doesn't he like, here's my number? Or like, let me have your number. Like, it's something along those
yeah.
lines because they just start like texting. And he's
Yes, they
over here
just
like, when should I text her?
yeah, he's like, let's do this like annual competition, right? And like they race to see who can get to like a specific serial killer first and that
Yeah.
like
Because Rowan's brother, Lark,
yes,
no, Leather, whatever his name is. I'm like totally blanking on his name right now, even though we're gonna figure it out.
Lachlan
Lachlan. Lachlan's like, all right, I will find this person, give y'all the information, and then you have a certain amount of time until
time.
the deadline to like research, and then
Yep,
they
and
both
best
go.
3 out of 5
Yeah.
wins. And then they get to like go after this like forest phantom, which is like
Yes.
some like big serial killer that like they haven't necessarily pinned down yet. So
Yep.
like
But I love that this is like an annual thing. They really
yes.
don't talk here and there like through that time. Like we know that Rowan is keeping track of her, but Sloane's in her own little world. But it's like
Yeah,
over these years, this book is over a few years. Like
happening.
I
Yeah,
love
like
it.
it'll be like a year later,
Yeah.
like while Sloane is like waiting, she's like torturing so and so, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Gets a text.
And she's like not sure about like continuing seeing Rowan, but her best friend Lark,
Yes.
who is important, like
Yep.
encourages her, and Rowan's brother Lachlan, who's a leather worker and
Yep.
assassin.
Yep.
He's the one that texts out the locations.
Hmm.
He's the one that like does the communication at first.
Yeah.
Um,
And Lark is
but
the
like
only one that knows who Sloane is because they've been
like
childhood friends.
truly.
Yes, and they've been childhood friends, and it all kind of stems from Lark getting abused back in like the
Mhm.
school, and then like it same thing
Yeah,
was happening to Sloane, but then Sloane's like, I've had enough,
I'm
and
done.
killed the dude, like so Lark didn't have to.
Have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's just like a little sprinkle of that backstory. It comes more into play in Leather and Lark.
Leather and Lark for
This one is
sure.
like, yeah, I know she was kind of like Sloane was questioning herself of like, is that why, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, this is just who I am. Like, I'm tired of people. I'm tired of
That's
people getting walked over, being
I'm
predators
done.
coming out there. Like,
These people
she's
need
got
to
the
go.
balls to do it.
Yeah,
And she does
like
it
I'm
well.
over it. I'm over it.
Hmm.
So like we hear like they're trying to like take down like serial killers,
Hmm.
right? And like between that, there's like a lot of like tension and like Sloane's all like hesitant. She goes like impromptu visit to like Boston at
Yes.
one point to like see him, and she's like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, he
Because,
owns
oh, Rowan owns a
a
restaurant.
restaurant," and like he had like already kind of nicknamed her Blackbird at like the
Yep.
beginning of the book. And that'll like come into play at the end because that was
Yeah.
just so cute. But yeah, so she like goes and she's like wants to talk to him, but like she's like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And she like leaves the drawing of like the raven or whatever and like whatever, dips out. Like
Yeah.
then Rowan comes to visit Sloane and he pays some like kid to deliver groceries and then like calls her and he's like, "This is how we cook." And like I'm like,
Like he's
"Go hang
hiding
out with
behind a
her."
tree.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
hiding
like,
behind
"This
a
is
tree, like,
great though." It's so hysterical the way they did it. Like it was just so fun. Like we find out background on like why Rowan kills
yep.
and like um he the first person killed was his dad because he was abusive. So like we do get background on them, which is
Yeah.
great. Like we could go into detail, but like I want to talk about like one of my favorite scenes, which
Okay.
is like one of their targets, and it's the dude that
Because
practices cannibalism.
it was the best.
Yo, that was my favorite scene. I was like laughing, I was
Yes.
disgusted. I was like, "Oh my
Yes.
goodness." And like this is the dude that has the servant that's like lobotomized.
Yeah.
Like and
Yeah.
he's just like I saved him by him being employed, but he's just like
He's like,
a
he's
zombie.
there. Yeah.
Yes. Um, and the dude like drugs Rowan,
Yeah.
and
So
then
he tried drugging both, but Sloane was like, don't like we really should not be eating anything.
eating all
You know,
of
we
this
shouldn't
and
do this. And Rowan's over here just like gulping his beer down or whatever. And
then
I think Sloane only had water. She was like, this should be fine because he's drinking the water. Or like, but, or it was like
yes.
beer or wine or something. She's like, no, I'm not going to. I need to be on
No.
top of my game. But Rowan's over here being like, oh, I got this. Starts drinking. But
Passes
while they're
out.
drinking, he's eating. And Sloane's like, why would you
She
know
accidentally like takes a bite and like I think is like,
this
oh my
doesn't,
God.
this isn't right?
Yeah.
Like she's thinking about like how like we know what this dude does. I'm
Yes.
not gonna trust anything we're eating, but Rowan's
No.
over here just mouthing. And
Yeah, and like so when Rowan wakes up, Sloane's got him like tied up and she's like cut off pieces of his skin, like
yes,
popping out his eyeballs and shit, and like doing her whole like
uh-huh.
spider. Like I imagine them like literally like tied up, suspended in the air with like intricate, very intricate serial
Like
killer shit.
Hannibal, like from the TV show,
Yes,
like
like
yes,
very intricate shit.
yeah.
And Rowan's like, okay.
All right.
Like he hasn't really seen her like
But he's like
work.
mesmerized by her.
Yes, and he's kind of like, oh, oh, but
Okay. And then she's like,
he-
so how'd you like the food? And he's like, okay. It was
but
what's wrong with the food? She's like, yeah, you just ate somebody for
yes.
sure. And he just runs into the kitchen, starts throwing up. That was so funny. And she's over here laughing her ass off.
And not the like lobotomized servant eating the semen ice cream
Yeah, the cookies and cream. And they're like, oh, he's just sitting on the counter, just with a big old spoon in the tub and just eating.
with
And
like
do you
eating
not
flesh and the semen ice cream, and it's like,
that
and then
part? I was like,
Sloane's like, Rowan, you should give him a job at your restaurant, and he's like, all right.
yeah.
He's like a lobotomized dude, like
And like employs him at the restaurant.
it's fine.
He wanted like he's trying to like learn and it was
It's cute.
so great.
It was. And then like so like again like they like spend time apart. There's like this like distance, right? And she goes back to Boston because he's like, Roan's getting an award for in a restaurant or something. Dude,
Yes.
I love these books. Um,
Wait, because he
and
was opening up a second restaurant called Butcher and Blackbird, but
yes,
he was also getting like an award, I thought.
yeah, and but they're also like doing their next target
Yes.
too, which is Harvey because he's like that super crazy chainsaw serial
Yeah.
killer. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre shit.
Yeah.
And I remember this because they go to Nebraska
Yeah.
because Rowan takes Sloane to his brother's house and he's like a doctor in Nebraska. And I
Dion.
like Fionn, yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
because it's Rose and Fionn
Hmm.
that
And that's
live
how they
there.
find Rose because she had a broken leg. And Fionn had
Yep,
to come and fix the leg, and that's how she stayed. Yeah.
yeah. And that's when like the mummified corpse questionable thing happens. Like Sloane's like taunting Harvey with like the corpse of his mother. She's like,
Yes.
ah, 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 ah.
I
Like
love these books so much.
they again like not sometimes like the man is really funny and like the women aren't, but like dude, like it was equal parts
Yes.
here. Like equal parts. So okay, so we come back and they decide to be together after like Rose and Fionn or whatever.
Yes.
She moves to Boston to be with Rowan. It's like, oh my God, that's so cute. He's like, look at my new restaurant. It's called Butcher and Blackbird. And you're
Blackbird.
like, oh my God, that's the name of the
Yep.
book. They tell each other they love each other and they fuck for the first time. And it's like, thank
Yep.
God.
Because there was
Because
so much tension.
I was gonna say the tension building was like really frustrating, and I probably would have been pissed if it wasn't so freaking funny
Yes.
and there wasn't so much other shit going on
Yeah.
in like the meantime. Like if we were just tracking the love story and taking out like the serial killers and like
Hmm.
the banter, I would have been like, no.
Yeah.
But like the banter in these books are so good. Um, so the opening of the new restaurant also has some things because the like lobotomized dude, what is his name?
I can't remember his name. Hold. We have the book right, like, for you. Flip through it. I can't find it.
Oh, David.
David.
He's there and he's like threatening to kill Sloane.
Hmm.
And it's like, well, no, he's
No.
threatening to kill Rowan
Yes.
unless unless he gets rid of Sloane. Like, so like it's like
Doing
a
the
weird
whole
like
thing.
showdown.
Yeah. In the
But
kitchen of
like
the restaurant.
yeah, and she like shows up and like breaks up the fight. But
Yeah, because like
David
David,
like make
wasn't it like David was just playing the part?
yes, like the
Yeah.
whole time
And
they
I'm like, you were
realize
willingly eating that ice cream?
and like to be just like playing that you're lobotomized that whole time is a little wild. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real.
Yeah.
But yeah, she like ends up killing David.
Bye, David.
So, yeah, bye.
Mm.
But yeah, so like, you know, it's super cute. Like,
Yeah. And it's like at the very like in the epilogue, then it comes into play like someone is watching them, and then they're kind of
yes,
like pinpointing people. And then at the end, you really see he's watching Lachlan,
Lachlan. Yeah,
and then it
and
ends. You're like, ooh, but then
wait,
that's when we get Leather and Lark.
yes,
But
and
like,
it's like,
but with Butcher and Blackbird, I will say like that is one of the first books that I've read that has really got me the entire book. Of like it was just good from beginning to end. It was funny. It was everything that I could have like wanted. Like yeah, we've had
and
like
they got
like
married.
yeah, and it's like
Like,
we have Lights Out, which is more of it is a comedy. Like smutty in there, but like with Butcher, it's like we get the crime, we get the killers, but they're
yeah,
like doing it for good. So you really think to yourself like they're fine. I would allow that to happen. Like
yeah,
go
like
for it.
it was very much like slow burn, but
Yes,
like, dude, it was
so
so
cute.
good. It was so good. And like we say cute, like talking about like taking out eyeballs. Like at one point, I had to look up what an I can't even say enucleating,
Inoc- Inoculator?
inoculation,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
scooping of eye. I had to like look it up, and I was like,
oh,
oh,
was this the book that we had to look up what her piercing is? Is that the
uh,
one?
I
The
think it
four,
was. Yeah,
the
we had to
four
look up
twenty?
what type of piercing she had, and I was like,
Because it's on the veg, but it's like a
mm-hmm.
ring from bottom to taint.
Let me
Was
see
that
if
the was that this book? The
there's,
fourchette, whatever that's called. I don't know. I just remember having to look up a lot of things reading this book.
yeah. Let me see if this is the one with like the piercing.
Was that genital piercing? But I couldn't remember if it was hers or if I'm thinking about the Lord's. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious if somebody knows. Please tell us.
Well, I need to like
So,
reread then because I know there was some book where everyone was like, "What piercing does she have? What are you talking about?"
yeah, and I remember even like texting you and we had
Yeah,
to like look it up and
I
I'm
want to
like,
say it was this one, and then we looked it up. We're like, "Oh no, oh I'm
oh,
crossing my legs. Like that is
like
not one for me. Thank
ouch.
you."
Yeah, it was a painful
It
one.
was an ouchy one.
It
But
was
like
a
I will say the like accidental cannibalism, cool, fine. That's always funny to me.
mhm,
In the right way, and she really did it in the right
in
way.
the right way.
Because like obviously you have your horror movies, there's the horror books, and you're like, oh no, you're eating human. Okay,
Yeah.
but this one, it was all about her banter, like in her head of like, Rowan, you're messing up right now. This is hilarious, but I'm not gonna stop you.
This
And
I
then
know like
yeah,
it, it's a little weird to read it because you're like, this is fucked, but you're like,
this is hilarious.
like, move.
Especially like in the ice cream scene, like they're reading off the ingredients, and I was like, huh?
Huh,
Like that one got me. I was like, ew, ew.
ew, ew. It did not ruin the cookies and cream ice cream for me though.
No, I will still eat it. That's fine.
I don't give a
For
shit.
reading someone like willingly, like and what? Because then you find out like he was pretty much faking it. I'm like, you willingly ate
Are
that.
a nutso. You're just as crazy as the dude that thought he lobotomized you
Yeah,
was. So
cool, cool,
not
cool.
cool. Oh, you're cool, cool, cool. I'm like, not cool.
I love it.
Uh,
Now let's talk about Leather and Lark. We're just gonna keep this into one. I think in like one episode, we can totally do that.
we got that.
Because like I do want to roll into like with how her trigger warnings for Leather and Lark are pretty similar to Butcher and Blackbird. But I will say this: when you read this trigger list, there is something about pizza and beer.
Dude,
And
I was like, they're the same, but they're
okay,
different.
but can I say Butcher and Blackbird? I feel was worse. I was like, when we get to the scene with the pizza and beer, I'm like, okay, and like it really
Ye-
didn't like it wasn't the same effect to say as like the accidental cannibalism in like the ice cream. That
Yeah,
got me
like
more, and I'm like, okay, so he makes a smoothie with pizza, beer, and tea. Okay, but like that's I don't know, that's not
I
not as
think
gross to
because
me.
we expected it after the first book. Like we didn't know what we were getting in the first
True.
book. So we're reading these trigger warnings like,
But maybe I just don't feel like that's so gross. I think the smoothie, like even if they didn't put teeth in, I feel like the smoothie itself is more disgusting than adding the teeth because I kind of
ugh.
agree with him of like, okay, it's a little extra calcium. But also, I'm weird and I like teeth. I like to collect.
Yeah, so this one has eyeballs but not eye sockets, teeth and
Yeah.
tooth byproducts.
Yep.
She says I might have ruined pizza and beer, also smoothies. Sorry, not sorry.
Eh,
Snow globes, auto cannibalism. Welcome to a debate you never thought you'd have, is what it says.
what was that one?
Again, like numerous sharp weapons. Oh, and a little implement called an enucleation spoon. So it was this one we had to
Yeah.
severed fingers.
Oh,
You
right.
might have new thoughts about crafting with epoxy resin,
Nope. And I love her for that.
drowning in various forms like terminal illness of a loved one,
Right.
Real detailed sex scenes. Again, like trauma, sexual child assault.
Mhm.
Um, I loved she put this in here. Explicit and colorful language, including a lot of blasphemy. Don't say I didn't warn you. And she put injured dog, case of injury not depicted, and he's okay, I promise. Like,
Yep. Yep. He better
yes.
be.
And again, she's like just so witty, right? Like Brynne Weaver did a great job, but this is
Loved
her.
it.
So the
Yeah.
second one,
And it kind of goes off of right from
it picks up like
pretty quick.
because you already know
Mhm.
the characters, right? You already know Lachlan,
Yep.
and we already know he's an assassin.
Yeah. We already know
And like
Lark.
a leather shop owner. Yeah, we know Lark is a musician and a serial killer of like predatory men, which is funny because like Sloane and Lark didn't know that they were like both serial killers.
No, because Lark kept it from her for the longest time.
And they eventually like end up telling each other and they're like, oh, like
Was
it's
like
okay
Sloane had a feeling. She's like, "Honey, I knew, but I was waiting for
for
you
you
to
to
like feel
tell me.
comfortable to tell me. Like you could have told me, and I could have like helped if you needed." But also, Lark is over here like, what if she thinks like
Ooh,
something
what
is
did
different?
it
Like I'm
mean?
fucked up because of like how everything went in the past, blah blah blah. And it's like, honey, it's Sloane.
Yeah. And this one's weird because like they're very much enemies to lovers, where in
Ugh.
Butcher and Blackbird they're into each other. It's like a slow burn, but like
What is
they
it?
hate each other.
Only because of what they found is like it starts off where she's going around and you like killing her ex-boyfriend for cheating, or not cheating,
Yes.
but well cheating, but also for finding all the minor communication on the phone. So
Yes.
she's
And
like,
is like,
predator, nope. Gets rid of him with fireworks. That was
dude,
fun.
the Katy Perry,
Harry song.
I was like, girl. And she like records it too. And she's like got like the JBL out, right? And like,
Yes.
man, her kills were so fun.
Yeah. But I love
But
like she goes to the car and she's like, oopsies, daddy, I need a cleaner.
yeah, like she like kills this dude and she like crashes her car
Yeah.
into like a reservoir, but
On
like has
Halloween.
the dude in the trunk. Yeah, so she calls her stepdad, who like
Yeah.
runs a criminal like
Or
organization.
total like mafia type of situation.
Yeah, like I didn't know if it was like mafia, like it's some sort of like underground criminal shit.
Yeah.
He gets a cleanup crew to the scene and like it's this large man who's like so annoyed with this dumb, stupid bitch.
Took
Like,
Harley Quinn outfit, and he called her, what is it? He was budget Batman. That's what she kept calling him.
yes,
And
dude.
she was it Blasphemous Barbie?
It might be. I mean, it was so great,
So
dude. Like,
funny. But they were just gah, gah, gah. But she also has a thing about like being claustrophobic. And like he's
yes.
saying like they're trying to clean everything up. He gets the body blob. He's just having a bad night. We found out why later. But
Yeah.
he's like, no, you have to be in the trunk for us to
Yeah.
go. And she's
Because
like,
he doesn't
no.
know who her father is. He doesn't know who this girl is. He thinks it's just
No.
some dumb girl.
But it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I just call daddy to clean up my mess and doesn't care about life.
Yeah. And she's like, well, so she like is in the trunk and she has like a panic attack. She's like, because
But she gets
again,
out of
like,
it because
yeah,
daddy
she
got her.
escapes.
Yeah.
And then like we have like a jump. Like
Yeah.
Brynne, the author, is really good though about like having these jumps, but they don't feel like it doesn't feel like that when you're like reading it because like it's like end scene,
Yeah.
right? Like new scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think Lachlan like ends up like he like wants to like be done or like
Yeah, he's
leave, but
been
they're
wanting
like
to retire. He's wanted to get out of this whole situation.
but they're like no because you put homegirl in the trunk of the car and like disrespected the
And now that
mafia
contract's gone.
organization. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, fuck." Um, But then this is when like the books start to cross over because like Lachlan goes to his brother's restaurant opening
No,
and
no,
like Lark,
they go to their apartment first, and that's where we see Rose on the couch, Fionn still there. They make
that's
fun of
right.
Fionn for joining a crochet club.
Yes, dude, I forgot about
Rose
that.
is giving him so much shit, and it's so great. But like, they're going through all that. So like, they're waiting to go to the restaurant because they had to get.
Yes.
Sloane was there, but Rowan was at the restaurant getting ready, and then they kind of go in, and he sees Lark, and he's like, "This woman is gorgeous." Instant googly eyes, instant.
Hey.
Decides to go out, and they go out into the balcony, and they start kind of going back and forth, and then the mad making out, and then
Mad making
he
out.
does his budget Batman voice, and she's like, "Oh, no, 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 no," and then it's just
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
yes.
Um, and there's like there's like a like another like antagonist in this book, right? That like is like threatening like Lark's like Aunt Ethel. Do you remember that? He's like in like the retirement home? Because
Oh,
that's
oh,
why,
so that's I want to say that's from the ending of I'm gonna say B&B. At the ending of B&B, where like he's kind of
yes.
watching, and it's that yeah he goes after, but like
Yeah, it's like that same antagonist,
yes,
right?
but it's like Aunt Ethel in her muffin manufacturer, whatever. Like
Yes.
she has competitors, she has people who may want to kill her, and Aunt Ethel's like on her deathbed. Like she has this lung cancer, like whatever is going on with
Yeah, some illness.
yeah, because
Yeah.
she coughs up blood. She has to be in the hospital sometimes, but eventually but she loves Lark, right? Like she leaves Lark everything, and she's the one that has been putting these little things of like, you know,
Hey.
like I'm leaving this to you because her Lark's mom and stepdad are two different sides.
Yes.
So it's a whole thing, and they
Yeah, so
think that like people are being killed off, which they think is Lachlan, but it's not. And so then comes the Auntie Ethel with the plan of like, you want to save Sloane, you want to save Lachlan, you want to save all these people, you're gonna have to marry Lachlan.
yep, you're gonna have to marry, and that's what they do. So they like
To
get married.
keep mommy and daddy from like really doing anything to her family or her friends.
Yep. Which was like crazy because like they learn a lot about each other, but they're still not like
Oh no.
happy to be there. But he's like, remember when he's like going through her apartment and he finds her like stash of like trophies
Yes,
and
behind
like,
what she loves Constantine.
yes,
And apparently he looks like a version of him, I
of him,
guess. Yeah.
yes,
It's so funny because yeah, behind the Constantine movie poster, there's a hole or like not a safe, it was just a hole.
yes,
There's just a hole
just
in the
like
wall.
a hole in the wall.
It's
It's gr- it's great. And so like
so fun.
that's fun,
The
like
finger snow glove with glitter. She
with
loves to
glitter in
craft.
it.
It
It's
has to be
all
gold
into
stars and
craft.
glitter. Because that's what she puts on Sloane too, of like, oh, you titties look great. Gold sticker for you.
Gold sticker for you. Like it's so again, like so fun. Like the banter's fun, the
Yes.
internal monologue's fun. Even when they're killing people,
Oh yeah.
it's fun.
And like during that time too, is like she's trying to like I think when she starts to marry, yeah, when they get married, like before that, she was already killing a dude in
Yes.
making him into a coffee table. So he's still alive, but she's pouring resin
On top
all
of
up
him, like
on him.
epoxy resin,
Yes,
dude.
and like adding the glitter and every so like, you can't tell he's in there. But like doing all this, so he ends up like drowning in it.
Great though. It's so
And
great
then
though.
Lachlan moves in, and but like she lives in this warehouse type thing.
Yeah.
It
Or
was hard to kind of imagine. Like she has an
like
apartment,
loft with like a like craft area type of a
yeah,
deal.
like
Like
on
yes,
the like first floor, and then like hers is on the third or
yeah.
something. Yeah, and so like she she's in there. She has her dog who's like, don't touch anything, But she's in there sanding the coffee table. Lachlan comes in, and then she's just trying to mind her business because like he's starting to kind of get at her because he's like,
Yeah.
I really am starting to like her, but she's over here like fighting it. She's standing and accidentally we find out Kit nips the top of the dude's nose and slaps her hand, and then like of course it smells, and you know
Yes.
he's like, "Oh, what are you eating?" Like anything. She's like, "It was a dog."
It was a dog. It's
Get me the star. Go upstairs and get me the star so I can like redo. Like I need a star right here. I
right
can't
here,
wait. And
right now. It's so great. Like,
he brings up. And that's how we find out she really is claustrophobic because of the elevator. They try to.
yes.
She has him bring the coffee table upstairs. They get stuck. She starts having a
Hmm.
panic attack, and that's where he's like, "Okay,
What
we
is
gotta
going
figure
on?
something out." But like his growth of like really wanting to be with her, like it took her a little bit, obviously, but like he was trying.
Yeah, and by the time like the elevator happens, like
Yeah,
they're both like on the edge, right? And you're like,
tension.
no. And
There's
it's
so much tension.
well, and like Lark's also like an insomniac. So like
Yes.
Lachlan like sends her away to like a sleep retreat and then he's like, just kidding. I kidnapped the dude that like
The principal, like the dean of your
yeah, who
old
was
school.
like abusing like her or her friend or something.
No, no, he let it happen. Because
Oh,
they found all those records of like all these teachers,
that's right.
and he did
Yes.
nothing because that dude was like on tenure or whatever. He's like, I'm not gonna ruin
That's right.
anything. Let it happen. And so Lachlan was like, here for you, my
Here you,
sweet.
here you go. Yeah, so like they kill him and that's fun.
Yep.
And then like that's when like the Phantom is still like watching them, like that
Mhm.
protagonist, like and that's when I thought he went and like goes and kills Ethel.
Yeah, yeah, because like Ethel then has to go into the home. She's like, I'm good. Just let me be
Yep.
here. Like it's too much.
And
And
then you got Fionn, Rose, and Lark, and they all go back to like the apartment where they like talk about like meeting at the assisted facility.
yeah.
Um, and then like doesn't Lark get kidnapped for like a hot minute?
Yeah, 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 because like she's Lachlan was like, all right, she gets the call that Ethel was in the
Yes,
that Ethel died, and she's like, I need you here, and he's like, I'll be right there. He starts to go. She's like, no, just meet me at the facility because you're
that's
close.
right.
And so he's already there, but that's when Abe, that's who it is.
Yes, that's
Abe
his name.
comes in, kidnaps her,
That's
and that's
right.
why they were at the hospice or whatever, and
Yeah,
she's starting to
she
freak
wakes
out, like, where are you?
and she wakes up in like inside an oven,
Yeah,
and Abe's like outside the door, and it's like,
yeah, in Ethel's facility.
yeah, and
So it's
you're
a
like,
walk-in like oven. Yeah,
yeah, and he's like making Rowan basically like,
Lachlan.
well, yeah, Lachlan is being forced to choose between Rowan and Lark.
Yeah, yeah, because oh yeah, because he was saying like there's a bomb on Rowan and Sloane's because they were out for a honeymoon
Yes.
because we get to see them be married, and that's when during that whole marriage, like the Sloane was like, "You have to dance with Lark. You have to," and that's when
Mm-hmm.
Lark pops the like, "We should get married." Blah blah blah. But yeah,
Yes.
so they were on their way back, and he's like, "Oh, there's a bomb planted," but
Yes. And
then come to find out, oh no, like they like found out real quick, pulled over, they were
pulled
perfectly
out.
fine. But Lachlan is over here like, ugh.
Did Rose, I know Rose got shot, but did she die?
No, because
No?
remember at
Okay.
the end, like they came, she met them in the cafe because that's when Rose was gonna go back to like the circus thing.
That's right. Okay. Because, yeah, the end was real sweet.
Yeah.
Lachlan brings her the heart of that like professor
Because
and he
he's
like
because that was the whole
encased
thing.
it.
I'm gonna make this for you, and that's when he was like, we found out he was listening to like the romance books. When she got into his car, turned it on. He's like, "Go start my car." Turn it on, and it's just like, and it literally was Death's Obsession playing in the car.
Yes, and she's like, "What?"
What? Because he was like, that whole like one of the sex scenes in that book was going, and then he walks out beet red. And he tries
Just
to open up the car, and she's like, "Locked? No."
great book, by the way. Death's Obsession. It's
We are gonna be. I finally finished, and we are gonna review.
we're gonna review it. That was great.
I busted up. I was like crying. I was laughing so hard because she's like, "You, what are
Got
you
caught. You
like? This
got
is what you
caught.
listen."
You got caught. But he like gives her divorce papers too.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like a
she's like,
honeymoon
"You have any plans?"
itinerary. Yeah, he's like, you don't like have to be with me. And she's like, no,
Too bad
I
I
want to
am.
be with you. And so like they like end up like happy and like, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many just like fucked up scenes though that are like,
Damn.
ooh, like
Dude just playing darts on that one guy.
that's right.
Oh, and the
Like,
fact that she with the dude who was pretty much keeping Lachlan around, like it does eventually is able to leave. But I just love the
yes,
fact that like he finds out that, oh, you're with Lark. I want to meet her because of Auntie Ethel, like that whole company.
all of
It
that.
and then like Lark poisons or like drugs the muffin, and
Yes,
other guy is just like, I love her.
yep,
She bested me.
I like she bested me. Like I
What?
can't even like that's great. Like I don't know. It was I liked Butcher and Blackbird more. Like I would give
Like the
Butcher and
starting,
Blackbird like
yeah.
a 5 out of 5. Like
Oh, I do too.
I felt a certain way about it. I'd give Leather and Lark like a 4.3 out of
I'm
5.
like, what did I give?
Like it was still great. I don't know how we get any better than the first one.
That's
You
true.
know what I
I did
mean?
give Leather and Lark a 5 just because I did like the same playfulness, everything. Also, the fact that the epilogue, excuse me, he's over here getting pegged on the shredded divorce papers.
That's right. Yes,
When
I
she came
forgot
out, she's
about
like, get on
that.
this bed, and she's
Oh,
like,
like
talking about getting everything whipped out. I was like, Lark's getting,
holy shit.
Lachlan's getting pegged.
But
Huh?
we like
And we go
this.
into detail. I was like,
Oh, oh,
I love this.
it was good. And like same as Butcher and Blackbird, like slow burn enemies to lovers. Like it's but like again, like it's so playful and there's so
Yeah.
much happening that you're like not super concerned about it.
No, like she gives him the remote control for her panties on stage. So I was like, oh,
Smart girl.
like
Girl no
it was
girl wants to
the
play.
tension was great. How it all came into
Yes.
play was great, but also like finding out who is what in what is actually happening and who's
Yeah.
dying. Like it was really good.
All right. Well, I hope you guys have a good week.
Okay,
Bye.